Hey there, Fletcher from All Things Overlanding here, and today I'm going to be talking about something pretty cool that you can use whether you're a ground camper or rooftop tent camper. If you have kids, there's a number of ways you can use this, and that is the Helinox Cot Max convertible. This thing is cool, and I'm going to show you all the features of this thing. I'm going to talk about dimensions, weights. I'm going to kind of give you a rundown on this. I'm going to show you how to set it up, and I'm going to show you me laying on it so you can get a frame of reference for what it's like for a 6'2" big guy to sit on this thing or lay on this thing. So let's get into the Helinox Cot Max.
Let you go. Ooh, let's just pull you closer. Ooh, I can't understand where it came from, but you got it, I got it. It began in the land of the sandstorm. I fought it, though I wanted everything to do with what you give to me.
Alright guys, so as I mentioned, today I'm going to talk about this Helinox Cot Max. I'm a rooftop tent camper, so you may be wondering, well, what do you need a cot for? Well, one, I have a couple of kids, and when I bring them with me, they don't sleep in the rooftop tent with me, they sleep in a ground tent. So this will be a nice option. Generally, one of them comes. I have two boys, but generally one of them comes. They're always going to fight with each other, so I either take the oldest or the youngest. But so having something like this that they can sleep on comfortably instead of just sleeping on the ground, or even some of those air pads, like you may have seen, that aren't all that comfortable and they tend to come off of them all the time. I would go in there and they're laying off to the side of it. This is a great option that, again, has a super small footprint, as most Helinox stuff does. It's made of super high quality materials. It only weighs about 6 pounds, so it's very light, and it takes up so little space that I wanted to show you guys this. As usual with their stuff, they've got this nice sort of MOLLE webbing, so again, you could attach this to the inside of a truck cap or something like that. You could also attach other stuff to this if you wanted to. It's got a little D-ring here on it for hanging, so you could hang it up, say on your wall in your house. And the bag, of course, like everything Helinox, is super high quality with a nicely stitched handle on the end here, so it makes carrying it super easy. Now let's open it up and I'm going to show you this cot. So again, like all of their stuff, super easy to assemble, super lightweight, super high quality. It costs the money that you would expect for something like that, for something that is that good a quality and is going to last for that long. But I mean, this is lifetime gear, right? When you look at a $50 or $100 or $150 cot and compare it to this, of course, this is a lot more money, and I totally get that. But this is also something that you can literally buy, use 50 times a year for the next 20 years, and it's still going to work and it's still going to hold up, which is just unheard of nowadays with most of this throwaway gear. So when you take it out of the bag, obviously this is the cot material. So it does come with some pretty nice instructions, which kind of show you step by step. But essentially when you look at this thing, what you're looking at is 2 silver poles, right? And then 4 of these blue poles. The 4 blue poles are your legs, and the silver poles are essentially the long pieces that are going to give structure to the cot. So again, like all Helinox stuff, you kind of can't mess it up. You're basically just going to assemble these. These are going to be your legs. The flat parts are going to sit on the ground, and then the sort of C-shaped parts are the parts that are going to attach to your poles on your cot material. So we're going to set all 4 of these up and set them to the side. Then once you've got your legs assembled, then we're going to take the rubber bands off the silver poles. We're going to get those all put together. But again, like most Helinox stuff, they kind of just snap together, right? So you're just snapping these together like that. So what you're going to find is on one end, it's completely closed up, which is how you know that that's sort of the end that you're going to be driving your poles to. On the other end, there's this little strap here, and there's a little hole next to it where you can put the pole in. So I'm going to start the pole on that end, drive it all the way down through here, just like that. And I mean, again, it makes it really easy on you, right? Because it's Helinox stuff, they've kind of thought of everything. You do have to line up these slots. These holes here in the fabric are where your legs are going to attach. So what I've kind of found that works is you can put your pole down into the ground kind of, and then you can drive your pole down and you can line up your holes just to make sure that the pole stays in the cot frame. So now we'll do the other side. There we go. So now we've got both of our frame poles into the cot, and now all we have to do is put our legs on. So one thing that could be slightly confusing is that these actually will fit on 2 ways. So they would fit on like this, with this facing sort of like the U shape down. But what they've done that makes it really nice is it says this side up on the part that faces up. So when you're looking at this kind of as like a U type of shape, you want that to go up. And what that does is it's going to create enough space that you'll actually have tension on these C-clips on the end. So when you put these in between the bars, there are these little metal clips here that you can push. And what that does is it gives you flexibility, right? So then when you line it up with the pole, you put it on and then you apply pressure until it clicks into place. And when it clicks into place, that's when you'll have tension on the cot. So let me show you that. Again, make sure that your U is upside down here, right? Now they recommend in the directions starting in the middle. I don't know that it really matters a whole lot, but I'm gonna do it just because that's what they said. So I'm gonna put one little C-clamp on that bar there. And then as you can see, this thing sticks out a little bit past it. So what you do is, again, push those metal clasps to sort of free it up and let it bend back, put it on there, and then you're just gonna use your muscles and you're gonna squeeze until it clicks. And when it clicks, you see now it's taut. You've got a nice taut surface. Another way that they say to do this is you can do it on its side. So when you do it on its side, it is even easier to do. And then once you're done, you got a cot. Now another thing is, and mine is not the version that came with these, but some of these do have optional legs. So on the bottom here, you'll see these two little holes in these poles. You can buy a version of this that also has extension legs that will make it taller. So it just kind of depends on how much you want to spend and what you're looking for. As far as dimensions go, this thing is about 83, a little over 83 inches long. It's about 29.5 inches wide, and it's about 6 inches off the ground. So again, you can get extension legs if you want a taller cot. That is an option, you can do that. I just went with the smaller one because again, my kids are probably gonna use this to lay on when we go to camp. But again, I'm a 6'2", 230 pound guy. This says that it will hold up to 320 pounds. So I'm gonna lay on this thing and just kind of show you what that looks like with a 6'2" person on it so you can get a reference for how long the 83 inches is. So as you can see, I mean, my feet are right at the end, but then I've still got, 6 inches above my head of space. And I will say this thing is really comfy. You can also use this as a bench. So that is another idea that I had was, if I have my kids with me or my wife and kids with me, we could sit on this thing like a bench. So you could sit on both ends of it. And you could use it kind of like a bench just to sit by a campfire or something like that. So there's multiple uses. You don't just have to use this as a cot. So if you want to use it as a cot to sleep on, that's fine. If you want to get the extension legs and use it as like a little bench to sit around a campfire or something like that, that's a great option as well. So just lots of ways to use this thing. And again, while it is an expensive piece of gear, and I'll put a link in the description down below if you want to go check it out and check out all the details, it is a really nice piece of gear that's going to last literally forever. So if you're looking for something like this that you can buy once, cry once, this may be a good option for you. All right, guys, so that will do it for the Helinox Cot Max. Hope that was helpful for you. If it was, click that like button. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, make sure to click that subscribe button, click the bell to be notified when new videos drop. I do a couple videos every week, usually talking about gear and dimensions and features of gear. Also do-it-yourself modifications and gear modifications and things like that. And I do like a podcast every week talking about overlanding, camping, tips and tricks, that kind of thing. So if you're into anything like that, this may be a good channel for you. Also in the description down below will be a link to all my other social channels. So wherever you want to follow along, I'd love to have you. There's also a link to my website where I've got funny overlanding camping themed patches and stickers. So if you're into that kind of thing, definitely check that link out. And then there's the join button below this video, which is brand new, just kind of a passive way to support the content that I make on this channel. No pressure whatsoever, but if you want to get early access to some of the videos and things like that, doing the join button is probably the easiest way to do that. And then last but not least, there is a link to my Patreon page where we have a 24/7 Discord. We kind of chat all the time. We have a once-a-month call, and we also have a couple trips every year. So if you want to be a little more active with all things overlanding, that's a great way to do it. And then there's the Newbie Overlanders Facebook page. Totally free to join, tons of awesome members. So if you're newer or looking for tips and tricks on how to get into overlanding, how to save some money on overlanding, that may be a good place to start. But again, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.